Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back at you with another video, and welcome to part 2 of my dreams to unify Italy through football. Symbolically, I've decided to do it today because it's Italy's unification or Unity Day, if you like. Um, Anywho, I was thinking, I often forget the reason why I make these videos in the first place, which in this case is with the goal of benefiting Italian football. Obviously, I hope people out there enjoy it, but my goal for these videos is to benefit Italian football. And on that note, I hope those who support Italian football all around the world will subscribe to my channel and support my content, especially the football-related stuff. The better it does, the more I can be able to help Italian football. And similar with Celtic. I was a Celtic fan as well. And I've lost my train of thought. But what I was going to say is, apologies if I repeat myself a lot, because I know that's one of my weaknesses. But I think that's everything for the intro. So these are ideas, pointers, thoughts, or whatever you call them, number 11 to 20. I think I forgot to mention in part 1 in the intro what I just said, which is that these are to benefit Italian football. So here goes. So number 11, I'd love to see what Italian football can change to improve. Again, I know I talked about these things recently, but I'd love to change things about Italian football. Like, think about some of the things I'd love to change are things like prejudice, especially racism. The defensive football, I'd love for it to become more attacking, and maybe keep some of that defensive stuff, but at the same time become more attacking as well. So perhaps be strong in all areas of the field. Also some of the divisions in Italy, and also some of the crime and corruption and hooliganism and violence generally, and crime generally. I'd love to see how football can be used to actually tackle crime and things like that. One mad dream I have many mad dreams I have, is for Italians, instead of like joining gangs or being in the mafia basically, or invading other nations, or being involved in violence or crime generally. I would love for Italians to just focus on football as much as possible. And as someone who only supports Italian football, I'd just love for Italians to practice as much as possible, so we could see Italian club teams and the country team, the national team, doing as well as possible. So for club and country. And I think that was everything for point number 11. But also, I would love to bring in for Serie A or Italian football generally, including the national team, to bring in the best possible managers, coaches, players, directors of football, coaching staff, and that kind of thing. Which brings me on to point number 12. I wasn't sure whether to include that in point number 11 or point number 12, but basically I would love to see what Italian football can do to become more successful. And some of the things I think they should, I think defensive football, or having a good defence, is important as well. But I'd love for Italian football to improve in all possible positions, from the goalkeepers to the. I suppose we do produce. We, as a fan of Italian football, I'll say, do produce some great goalkeepers. But I would love to see even better goalkeepers, and to continue to produce great goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and strikers. But in all possible positions, but as a strategy to try and attack and go at teams more, and like keep hold of the ball more, pass the ball around more, and things like that, rather than defend and wait for the other team to attack. And I think that would probably be more effective if we see like what Spanish football and German football has done well, what French football has done well, and that kind of thing. They normally have good players, probably in every possible position, really. And some of the most attacking teams are often the most successful, like Brazil, Argentina, Germany. Well, I know Germany's not necessarily the most attacking, but even the Italian teams that have done well in the past have had good attacking players and played a bit more attacking, and similar with France and that sort of thing. So I think if you look at the most successful nations, they're normally more attacking, and that's probably why Italian teams don't win so many trophies in European competitions anymore, especially nowadays. I think with the emphasis being more on attack, with some of the rules, which makes it harder to just defend a game and see out a game defensively. So I'd love to see Italy produce the next best players, like the next Messi, Ronaldo, Ronnie, as I call him, the Brazilian and Portuguese version, Maradona, Pele, and players like that. And I'd say I'd love to bring in the best possible managers, coaches, coaching staff, directors of football, dietitians, and of course players, and all possible things that can help Italian clubs Italian football teams at club and country level. Sorry if it's really noisy in the background. My cat's playing with a golf ball, which we found. But anyway, and as I say, I'd love to see what. I know there's probably a lot of things that Italian football does already do well, but so I was thinking point number 11, I think of like changes, but point number 12, I think like what Italian football does do well and what it should continue to do and continue to improve upon. And I'd love to know ideas about how Italian football can attract those players and things like that. Number 13, I'd love to know what are some weaknesses and negatives and things like that about Italian football, because obviously then they can be improved upon. What are some of the issues, troubles, challenges, struggles and things like that facing Italian football, including financially perhaps and things like that. And 14, what are the solutions to such? I want to cover that point quite quickly so I can make these videos, as I say, as I often say, as short as possible. Cats can be really annoying, to be honest, but they're really cute, but they are really annoying sometimes. But anyway, 15, I'd love to read from and hear from Italian football fans what Italian football fans' dreams and goals are for football. And as I mentioned again in the past, sorry if I repeat myself again, but I would love to have Zoom chats with Calcio fans from all around the world and discuss what are some potential ideas to benefit Italian football, whether that's bringing in more fundraising for Italian football teams at club and country level to buy more football pitches, stadiums, stadia, academies, and things like that, and also to buy best possible overseas players as well for the club teams, as well as having good Italian players, like having that balance between old and young and overseas and local or national players. Number 16, I'd love for there to be committees and think tanks which talk about the best ways to benefit Italian football again at club and country level, and how to get the balance right between having good young players, developing good young players and giving them chances, but also having the best players for the short term so they can start winning those trophies as soon as possible, because they're quite behind EPL and La Liga teams. So I'd love to know any ideas people have out there. Number 17, in my imagination, I would love to see, as I say, towns uniting all around the world, not just in Italy itself, which I hope to come to, but I'd love to see Italian teams winning so many trophies, both in terms of club and country level, as I say. And it'd be great to see Italy becoming the top footballing nation, as I say, both in club and country level, and being respected around the world as the best at both club and country level, and at all sort of levels overall. And I love for Anglo-Indians and my fellow Eurasians generally, and neurodiverse people, including myself, to be part of that, like sharing our ideas and practicing with Italian football. I'd love to go and visit Italy, coach, and talk about my ideas and see if any of them are practical and can be put into practice, and hopefully done so for the benefit, of course, of Italian football, which is something I would love to be. I hope this doesn't sound too narcissistic on me, but I'd love it to be part of my legacy as someone who helped, or that I am someone that helped Italian football to become number one again. Number 18, I'd love to read about and hear about success stories of Italian football, past, present, and hopefully there'll be many in the future as well, and anything positive about football, and people who love Italian football, like anything positive they love about Italian football, and also accentuating some of the positives. Like I often say, like I'm a bit biased, but I think Italian football teams have the best kits, and I forgot to mention that I have this green kit which reminds me of Celtic, and I really like this kit, but underneath it is my Italian football top, which I'll probably use for my thumbnail because I can't be bothered to take the top off and show everyone. But I know I've used it in previous videos, but symbolically I'm using this as it's actually when Italy celebrated winning the 4th World Cup that Italy have won. So we're one behind Brazil and level with Germany. So hopefully we can overtake, go ahead of Germany, obviously, and overtake Brazil eventually, or ASAP, preferably. I wish I could be more of an optimist and more positive, but I'd love for people maybe to send encouraging messages, like if people actually like my content, hopefully, and also if about Italian football and what Italian football can achieve, and having belief, #believe in Italian football, and that kind of thing. Number 19, problem with me is I'm quite impatient, so I'm hoping that these things will be achieved ASAP. Like I wanted them done yesterday, so to speak. So I would have loved to have seen Italian teams achieve more already, but I'm hoping they will do so ASAP. And number 20, also, as I say, I'd love to see Italian football give more opportunities to younger players and develop more younger players. But I also think there should be a balance between older and younger players. And as ever, I'd love to know what you think. Hopefully, I wasn't too cringeworthy or too repetitive. I know I do have that weakness, all those weaknesses. But anyway, I'm going to try and stop baffling. I'm out.